Hello student. Today I am going to explain the chapter 7 Systems Life Cycle IGCSE Information and Communication Technology part 1. I have divided this chapter in several parts for your better understanding. Before going into detail into this chapter, I would like to give you the brief about system life cycle. So first of all, understand what is the meaning of system. System here means any IT system, information and communication technology system. For example, payroll system or any apps you are using, any application or any system going on the internet or on the computer system. So system life cycle, that means any application or any system which is going on to the computer. If you want to create the new one or you want to upgrade the existing one, then there are several stages you have to pass through. So definition of system life cycle would be like: the system life cycle is a series of stages that are worked through during the development of new system or upgradation of the existing system. So now you may think that to develop this system, why we have to go through all these stages? So the answer is very clear, that a lot of time and money can wasted. If system is not developed properly or it not functioning properly as you want. And so new system is much more likely to be successful if it is carefully planned. So that's why these stages are important. Well, some example to be considered for system life cycle can be any app you are using in mobile. You may notice it get upgraded when new features or version is introduced. Second example I can give you is that our government banks, earlier they used to have the traditional banking system. Now they are also upgraded as it's a requirement of due to competition in the market. The most live example we can take is our education system. Today we are using ICT to educate and to learn. You may notice it, earlier you sit in the class and learn, but now because of the requirement you are learning from this kind of devices and internet. So that is one of the upgradation. So it's replaced by the traditional system. Okay, let's go in detail now. First we'll see the overview. When organization or a client consider that one of its system has problem or it's not improvement, a system analyst studies the system to determine where the problem are and how the system can be improved. The analyst then plans the implementation of the solution and hands the plan to the software team to produce the solution and test it. The analyst then plans how the system is going to be improved into the organization and arranges for continuing maintenance of the system. And this whole process will be known as system life cycle. So if you see, you can divide all these paragraph in total 6 steps. That first of all is analysis, then you will design, then you will develop or test, then you will put into the market. After that the documentation will be done, and then the maintenance or evaluation will be done. So all these stages we are going to learn here in this chapter in detail, but I want to give you the short brief about these stages. It's one by one. Like analysis is what you want in the new system, or what do you want to upgrade in the existing system, the data, the collection of data. That is the analysis, first stage. Once you have collected the data, then you will design it or you will upgrade your existing system. So that is the second part. After designing, you will test it. You will not directly put into the market, but before that you will test it, the system is working correctly or not. After the testing has been done, the implementation part will come. So you will implement your system, or you can say you can put it into market for live use. After put it into the market, that is required that you have to do some kind of documentation. Here documentation means some technical instruction and user manual, etc., that you have to produce for the user. And last, that after the system is running successfully in the market, you have to evaluate it, that is running properly or not, do it require any upgradation or what. After some time it may possible you require upgradation, so again you will go through all these 6 stages. Here I would like to brief or highlight one bold word given here: system analyzed. What is system analyzed? That is a person. So a system analyst, it's actually an IT professional who works on the high level in organization. He will ensure that the system infrastructure, computer system and other facilities related to IT are working properly, efficiently or not, and what kind of upgradation is required, if any. So that we can say that system analyst person are responsible for researching the problem in the system and then finding the solution. After that, recommended the course of action, coordinate with the organization in order to meet the specific requirement. So that means that system analysts need to be familiar with different kind of operating systems, hardware configurations, programming language, and on software, hardware platforms, input output devices, blah blah blah, everything. In short, IT expert can be the system analyst. Now let's move ahead. So here, as I said, the IT specialist responsible for the system's life cycle. He or she will analyze the problem and then give the desired output, and system life cycle is what we are going to learn now. Most software system life cycle are similar, but sometimes names are different. The analyst does not start at the beginning and work straight through the end. They may reach one stage and realize that they have to go back and find out something else or plan things differently. They may find that something does not work properly, so they have to go back and change the design. That may possible. This process is called the waterfall model of the system cycle. However, at each level it is possible to go back at any of the previous stage to refine and to research again, and that's why it's known as iteration. Okay, now let's understand this diagram which shows as a waterfall model of the system life cycle. If you can see, it's starting with the analyze and ending at the evolution. There are different arrows. One arrow is coming from one and going to another one, but there are arrows that is going backward. So at any stage of time you can go from anywhere to anywhere. See, suppose if you are at the implementation and if you feel that this system is not working properly, you can again go back to the design or to directly to analysis depending upon the requirement. So in brief, I'll tell you the what is the exactly this waterfall model is. Let me tell you, it was introduced in 1970 by Winston Royce. Winston Royce was the name of the IT professional who introduced this system for the system analysis. Now let me explain why it's known as waterfall model. The waterfall approach, the whole process of software development or upgradation is divided into separate phases or stages. This is mentioned here, starting with analyze, design, development and testing, implementation, documentation and evaluation. The outcome of one stage acts as the input of the another sequentially. Okay, so once you have completed one stage, and whatever the outcome of that stage would be the input of the next stage. This means that any stage in the development process begins only if the previous stage is completed. Do you understand that? So you can't directly start with the development and testing. Before that, you should analyze the things, then you have to design, and then only you can make the testing. The waterfall model is sequential design. So the process is seen from flowing steadily downwards like the waterfall. You may see it. It's coming from analysis downward to the evolution. So that's why it's known as waterfall. Okay, so now you know why it's known as waterfall, because it's coming from upward to downward steadily like water. That's why it's known as waterfall. The main advantage is you can go anytime to the previous stage. Okay, so if you feel when you are in the implementation stage, and if you feel, oh my god, this stage is some data is required, or some field is empty, or you require something more into that, you forgot something to add, then again you can go back to the design and replan it. So you can go from anywhere to anywhere. That's why it's known as iteration. So first step is analysis. Of course, the analysis stage starts with the definition of the problem and the feasibility study. It involves looking at the problem with the client to find out the client's requirement and needs. The people in the organization know how their business works and nature of the problem and how much they can spend. The analyst knows about computer system and what is possible. In response to the problem definition, the analyst produce a report that states what is possible, and that is known as feasibility study. If the feasibility study is accepted, then this is when the collection of information is begin. That is the main part of your analysis. So now you may ask me, what is the feasibility study? It's given here, but it's given in very short, so I would like to elaborate it. The feasibility study is an evaluation and analysis of the system which you want to propose, or you want to develop, or you want to modify. The study tries to determine whether the project or system is technically and financially feasible or not. So you will check here on this stage before doing analysis that whatever you are going to plan is feasible or not. It will check like is it technically feasible, is it financially okay, is it within the estimated cost, and yes, if it is a business or it is a market system, then is it make good business sense, will it be profitable. So all this part will be decided first before doing the analysis. So when large sum of the money are at stake, of course you have to do that. So big companies and big organizations typically carry out this kind of feasibility study before introducing any new system or updating the existing one. Now we'll go in detail into the first stage, that is analysis part. So first is the introduction to the system analysis and design. What is the purpose of system analysis and design is, this is the process of looking at the existing system and the designing a new system that can carry out the same task better. If system is developed without proper planning or design, serious fault and defects are usually found in the system later on when it has been built. Any fault discovered once that system has been built are very expensive and time consuming, of course. So before planning, before going into any system, you have to plan it. It is very necessary. By carrying out proper planning, you can avoid the potential faults and errors. What is system analysis? This is where the existing system is looked, or you can say analyzed or researched in detail for the improvement and suggestions. So there are two type of analysis, paper based and computer based. But of course paper based analysis are the older way, so it's very tedious and very time consuming. Computer based system are much more efficient, so nowadays all organizations go for this kind of evaluation analysis only. Stage 1, analysis. What is analysis? This is where the current system is looked at in detail in order to figure out what changes in the required into the system. So what analyst will do? For example, if any company does not have current payroll system, the system analyst will look closely and list the feature that management wants the new system to have. So it will closely look the system. Then for the new system, what are the positive or what are the benefits and what are the negative aspect, that would be comparison will be done over there. And they also find the errors during the journey of creating the new system or for the existing one. So what actually analysis involved are collecting of data, of course, for your new system or the current one. Find the problems, what are the problem facing by the current system, establish the problem of the customer and needs the solving, identify input processing and output for the current or existing one, identify the requirement and producing the cost benefit analysis. So these are the main stages where the analyze stage will involve. First it will collect the data, then find out what is the problem, then find out what is the need, what kind of new system is in need, then they will identify for the new system what is the requirement, input output requirement and other software requirement, etc. And then the last it will be put on the scale of is it cost benefit or not, financially feasible or not. So first of all, as I told you, that you have to collect the data, that what kind of new system you want or what are the changes you require to be done in the existing one. So there are 4 methods to collect the data, that is questionnaires, interviews, observation the people using the current system, or looking the documentation of the current system. So all these 4 stages I'll cover in the next part. In this part I just want to give you the brief about the system analysis, the basic part. I hope you understood what I have taught you, what is the basic of the system analysis. And if you have any query, you have to fill the syllabus query form and submit. It will directly reach to me so I can answer your query immediately. So take care.